Thank you all for joining today. Today we're going to be covering field services in Microsoft Dynamics CRM. This is an exciting new component that's been added to the Microsoft platform in May of 2016. This gives the ability for people in the field to be able to be collaborating with the inside dispatch units and for visibility and organization to be handled across all sectors for field operations. Let's take a look. Today what we're going to be accomplishing is doing an overview of the entire system. We're also going to be talking about the benefits of what this will bring to you and your organization. We're also going to talk about when you would actually want to be using field services, when you'll get the most out of it. And we're going to talk about how to actually use it, which is going to get in depth about building tasks, incident types, and work orders, as well as reviewing the feedback and approved work orders from the field. We'll be doing a live demonstration within the system showing exactly how all this works. We're also going to be taking on the role of a field personnel, so that way you can see what it looks like for them as well as dispatch centers. And then finally, we're going to be showing you the mobile app. First, please allow me to introduce myself. I've been doing business analytics for 14 years. I've actually been doing database management and creation for 8, and I've been specifically within CRM Dynamics for the last 5 years. My education includes an MBA and multiple certifications in both the core platform and ancillary systems, which allow for the expansion of CRM, including Field 1, which we'll be covering today. Let's take an overview of what Field 1 offers. Now, typically, when operating field operations, there's going to be a lot of challenges in coordinating external teams, providing feedback of where they actually are, also understanding where your inventory is, and being able to control truck inventory and dispatch times and where they're going to be leaving from. And also trying to organize multiple people with certain skill sets to be able to address the needs in the field when you have changing schedules and changing needs. And so oftentimes you'll see that people are working with whiteboards where they're using dry erase markers, for example, to be able to create these calendars and schedule their teams in the field. Very inefficient, and often ends up with overlapping routes or people showing up to job sites which have already been completed, a lack of route optimization where they're traveling in inefficient ways, using more fuel than what's required to be able to do the job and taking more time to be able to get to those locations. You don't want to have somebody at one location and then driving across town to be able to get to the next site and then coming right back to where they had started for their third job. We've seen this many times with a lot of different implementations in the past, and Field 1 actually solves all of these. What we can actually do within Field 1 is to be able to provide inventory tracking for multiple warehouses as well as truck inventory. We can do route optimization, which allows for all the different work sites that an individual is going to need to go to in that day to be uploaded to the system and allow for the most efficient routing of that field personnel. We also have the ability to do automated scheduling. So when an emergency call comes in, we can actually have that emergency call routed to the appropriate field service team member who is closest to that incident and who has the appropriate skill set to address the repairs required, all automatically. We also have real-time feedback from the field. So using the mobile app, people were able to update their status, whether or not they're on their way to the job site location or how that job is going, if something had to be requested for a new type of asset that had to be applied on the site. All of that is real-time communication using the mobile app so that visibility is across the entire organization. Also, using the mobile app, we have the capability to take advantage of all the hardware that's included with mobile phones and tablets, including signature captures or pictures of the site, or even audio files can be collected and posted to the actual CRM record. In addition, with phones, we have GPS tracking. So there's a real-time audit log of where people are at any given period of time throughout the day. And these GPS trackings can be triggered by status updates. So for example, you can have an ongoing audit report of where people are on a minute-by-minute schedule, or you can also have it so that when somebody is changing the status of a job to, say, on call or on hold, scheduled for transit, all of these moments that they change the status of that work order can actually trigger the event for a pin to be dropped wherever they are as those statuses change. You can also use barcode scanning simply by using the camera on the mobile device. This doesn't require any additional software or hardware. It's just being able to do inventory transfers from warehouses to trucks, or also to be able to take pictures of job sites for approval and completion. All of this is facilitated just using the typical hardware components on a mobile device. And finally, the entire platform is fully customizable. So right down to the colors of what you want your status board to show for each different status, what types of fields are required for data capture in the field. So whether it be that pass-fail tests have to be recorded as people are going through testing equipment in the field, or being that they need to have certain types of customer information available to them when they're showing up to the job site. All of these different fields are customizable not only within CRM, but also with the extending mobile application as well. So let's take a look at when to use field services. Now, there's two typical scenarios in which people are going to be implementing this type of a platform. First, are during the opportunity or sales cycle. If there's going to be some type of large installation of complicated equipment, for example, an MRI at a hospital, that's going to require skill sets that have specific needs for the building, the foundation, the testing of something that's so complicated it requires multiple deliveries and specialists to be able to set it up. So through the opportunity lifecycle, field service is able to employ and empower the teams in the field, their skill sets, and be able to give feedback to the dispatcher to let them know, for example, when the next series of teams need to go to that location. Also, a typical scenario with this type of a platform would be under service events. So, for example, if it's a water department that has certain pump stations that need to be maintained on a regular basis, or also be able to respond to emergency situations such as a car running over a fire hydrant, for example, or a pipe breaking inside of a wall of a building. They have the ability to have those types of regular maintenance schedule events ongoing, and also dynamically change that field service team so that they can address the emergency needs as they come up. So let's take a look at actually how to use this. Beginning from that same starting point that we just discussed, where we have the opportunities as being installation of complex equipment, or also when we're responding to service cases as required, we'll take a look at actually how this looks within CRM itself. Now, work orders are built off three main components. Tasks are the most granular aspect of a work order. This is the individual step-by-step requirements to be able to facilitate the needs of that event. So be it that When somebody comes to a location with a leaking pipe, they're able to have the step-by-step being A, turn off the water to that location, B, open up the piping area, C, inspect, and so forth. They're able to build that as granular as they want. Then all of that can be rolled up into an incident type. So for example, the scenario just given would be related to repairing a pipe. That would be your incident type. And then finally, you're able to turn that into a work order, which has permanent visibility on the customer record. So therefore, you're able to combine multiple incident types to a particular work order, which is then left onto the customer record. Let's go in CRM now and see how this looks. Now this is our CRM environment. In here, we have our 2016 version with the navigation bar across the top. All the UI is the exact same as the rest of the platform. So by clicking onto this main category section, you'll see we have the Field 1 Sky component here. By clicking on this, we can see that we have those work orders we were just discussing, as well as our schedule board and our work order schedules, our customer assets, the equipment that's actually on location. We have the agreements in which we're able to capture those signatures for. Then our accounts and contacts, which still, again, comes from the exact same database that everything else within CRM exists. We also have the ability for time off requests. So when we're actually doing automated scheduling, we're not going to be scheduling people who are actually on vacation. And we also have purchase orders and purchase order receipts, inventory transfers as discussed, as well as warehouses. And there's several other settings that we can get into. But let's take a look at the actual scheduling board. Now, the scheduling board is going to consist of multiple work orders. And that's really what we're going to be taking a look at this time. We're able to do different types of filtering and automated scheduling for the individual work orders. But as you can see here, we have a work order already created and scheduled for today. Again, the same UI that was used before. We have everything very familiar because we're working within CRM. And at this time, you can see all the different fields which are customizable, which are related to this particular work order. Now, from the top, you can see where we have our schedule journal, our schedule timestamps, the actual service tasks that I was indicating before, as well as the products and services that are related to this particular work order, and then documents. So if we're keeping invoice records or quotations that are related to the types of services performing in the field, we're able to store those up into a SharePoint location. Now, when we're building these work orders, we can begin from an opportunity. And simply by clicking on the Convert to Work Order button at the top, we're able to easily create a work order which would deploy the team for these 4G-enabled phones, in this example. So I can say that my potential customer here is A-Datum. And upon closing of this opportunity as one, I'm able to convert this into a work order so that way I can deploy my teams immediately to that customer location so that they can get the fastest service available. Once they're converted to work orders, they're then able to be scheduled to the team. Let's take a look at scheduling. Now, scheduling, again, can be a very complicated process without this type of software. Knowing where people are and what types of skill sets they have, what their availability is, it's a very complicated process to be able to manage as soon as you get beyond 10 to 15 people. So this system will actually enable you to be able to filter based on the resource skill and also the region in which this person exists to be able to apply them to the appropriate work orders as needed. There's a couple different ways to be able to do scheduling. You can do manual scheduling, where you can actually look at pins on a map and apply them to the schedule. Or you can do semi-automated, where a case or an opportunity can be created, and you will see how that can have an assisted scheduling, where we'll look at the group of people who are available within that area by a certain radius, and then apply those people manually after that. Or you can do a completely automated process that will just simply select the person that's the closest to the emergency work order, for example, and who has the appropriate skill set, and get them to that location, notifying them via email or text message that a new job order has been assigned to them. There's automatic route optimization within any one of these procedures, so there is never a delay in the ability for people to be efficient in the field. There's never a need to do any manual mapping and assignment of the location. We also have the calendar board, which can show in multiple filters as hours, days, weeks, or months, and give the visibility required for dispatch to understand where teams are and the statuses of the jobs that they've been assigned. And those statuses are color-coded, so it's very easy to be able to see at a glance the situation in the field. Let's take a look. So here's our scheduling board, and here we have our map. We're able to simply drag and drop any one of these pins to a specific resource. Now, I'm also able to filter the resources that are available here by selecting the different types, the service territories, or the individual resources that I want to have on this grid here. Once I have the people that I need within that group, I can simply grab one of the pins and pull it onto the map, onto the scheduling board itself. So, drag and drop capability, and this will actually assign this work order to David Bandler right at 10 a.m. I'm also able to filter by region. So if I only want to be looking at a certain group at any particular time, I'm able to do that as well. In this instance, I have multiple regions across my country. And if I need to be able to assign people to the East Coast area, I can simply click on that group, and it will show me the people in that region, and then allow me to, again, drag and drop the schedule, so that way people are then going to be notified in the appropriate regions. Now, as we filter these different groups, you can see here that by simply collecting multiple checkboxes and then applying the filter, it's that easy to be able to change the group of resources that we're working with. So I've added the administrator row here. And as you can see, there's already 2 work orders assigned. So when we assign these work orders to field team members, they're going to receive an email notification or a text message saying that they have actually been assigned to this work order. It will provide them with the customer information, including location, in which they're able to then get driving directions to be able to go to that site to perform the work needed. They'll know before leaving whether or not they have the inventory on board, and they're able to communicate their status to the dispatcher in real time. Let's take a look at inventory control. Now, inventory management can be a very complicated process as well. For example, if there's a large piece of equipment that's been deployed to the field, and this equipment is broken. Sometimes this equipment can be so valuable that instead of just returning it or throwing it away, you might want to repair that. So what we're able to do using this system is to have that piece of equipment captured from the field and recorded as going back to the warehouse. So the warehouse manager is able to see in real time that they have a piece of equipment that's going to be coming back to the warehouse that needs repaired. And a separate work order can be staged around that repair process so that the individual tasks for the repair of that item can be assigned to that repair as well. So before the truck shows back up with the piece of equipment that needs to be repaired, the warehouse manager can have the repair team already standing by when they expect for that equipment to show up. They'll know exactly what needs to be repaired on it, and they can even require that there's a picture taken so that they can have a visual representation of whatever failure might have happened with that equipment in the field. So having the tools, having the repair parts, and the team available as soon as that equipment shows back up at the warehouse for the repair is an incredible efficiency model for any type of field operations. The barcode scanning is utilized, again, using the camera on any type of mobile device to be able to do inventory transfers or allocations. So for example, if you have your trucking teams show up at the warehouse in the morning and they want to do inventory transfers as they're collecting the different items that are needed to perform the work orders that they've been assigned to for the day, they're able to simply take their phone, scan the barcode on each one of the items that they're transferring from the main warehouse to their truck, and load their truck. No longer is there any type of guessing of counts or any type of misallocation of what inventory went where, because the human is taken out of the loop. They simply take a picture of the barcode that does a lookup to that piece of equipment and transfers it from the inventory of the main warehouse to the truck. Same thing when they come back. They're able to do any type of field repairs and any type of customer asset collections from the field and bring that back to the main warehouse. This improves efficiency as well as accuracy across the board. So let's take a look at one of the main components of this entire system, the mobile app. Now this was specifically designed for field service operations. This is not a typical out-of-the-box CRM application. Again, this is specifically made for mobile, for this type of operation. Now, it's customizable in the fact that you can have any type of dashboard reporting that you wish. You can also have all of your account information, as you can see here, showing whatever you need for it to show. So in this instance, we have the name, the address, the zip code. You can also have the phone number, for example, or any other piece of related information, such as the primary contact for your account. This mobile app is scalable as well. So it's going to look the same no matter if it's on a phone or a tablet or any type of device either. It's device agnostic, so be it for an Apple, Windows, or Android device, it will work the same across all platforms. When you click on one of these account records, it will bring you to more detailed information about this location. At the bottom here, you'll see that there's also the mapping capability. You're able to see the contacts that are located at that account, as well as any quotes, orders, invoices, or activities that might be assigned to them. You can also take a look at the notes. Now, when doing notations, you can easily be able to use the device to type in any type of information that you wish. But again, you can also use signature capture as well as camera capture that will assign to the notes of this account. Now, from our scenario where we have the scheduling board, and we know that we have this work order 00125 assigned to myself, I'm able to see what that looks like from the mobile app. So by going to my schedule, I'll see that I have 00126 scheduled for 8:45 start time. Now, I can select the status of this and change it to traveling, for example. This is to say that I've accepted the job order and that I'm on my way to that location to perform the work needed. Simply by saving it and refreshing, I'm able to sync this up to the live system and very quickly notify my dispatching team that I'm actually traveling to this location. As you can see, it's changed from a blue to a purple, which indicates that I am now traveling. And again, that's all customizable. You can have any number of statuses, and you can have any number of color allocations to those different statuses. Now, once I've gone ahead and accepted the job and I'm traveling to that location, then I'm going to go ahead and change that to in progress when I've shown up on site. Again, that's going to be triggering a GPS tracking response. So people were able to see that you were actually on the correct location with a pin on a map at any given time. So you can see where all your field personnel are. Now, by going through the actual work order, I'm able to see the different tasks that are needed to be able to complete it. Once performing all of the different tasks that are required, then I'm able to update the status as being completed. This will notify the dispatch office that we've completed the work as needed, and they're able to know that I'm now ready for scheduling for something else. Now, we also have all of the contacts that I have ownership of. So this field security that's used for this mobile app allows for the control of visibility into account and contact ownership so that I'm only able to see the people that I'm supposed to be able to see. And it also helps for keeping my list clean and not overburdening me with people that might be in other regions. If the device is lost or stolen, we also have the capability to do a remote wipe of all the data. So as soon as that device reconnects to the web, we'll then immediately be able to cleanse that device, ensuring that all of the sensitive information for company records are safely maintained. We also have the listing for all customer assets. This is all the equipment that's been installed at the different locations, which enables a lot of different feedback. You can use this for understanding what you're going to be approaching as you come on site. You can also use this to identify the exact piece of equipment that's needing to have the repair. So for example, if I'm doing repair on an MRI at a hospital and the hospital has multiple machines, I'm not going to be taking some magnet coil from the wrong machine. I can simply allocate the exact serial number through a barcode scan to the work order, so that way I know when I'm dispatching my field team, they're going to be working on the correct piece of equipment and not wasting anybody's time. We also have the products and services. This is what we're going to be using for ourselves. This is the type of products that we're selling or the services we're providing in the field. We also have our agreements, which again are basically contracts, which then allow for that signature capture to be associated. We have our time off request. We have our mapping component as well. And so this is going to be syncing through any means possible. So be it through Wi-Fi or a hardwire connection or through the mobile device using radio antennas. Anything that is available will be used to show exactly where that device is at any given time. The activities are simply the different types of follow-ups that are required, basically tasks for accounts and contacts and opportunities. We also have our calendar, which shows outside of the work order schedule other items that are on my list of to-dos. Now, that covers everything that we have within the mobile application. So let's take a look at how to get started. Now, a quick architecture overview of how the system is set up is that there's typically going to be the marketing front end using whatever type of marketing services needed to be able to generate leads and create opportunities. And then once those opportunities become customers, then we are able to involve ourselves using the field service system. So be it that we're going to be scheduling people to do the installation of equipment or to be servicing that equipment once it's already installed, that will be the main focus of your field service system. And also you're going to have SharePoint integration for your document retention, which enables you to be able to very efficiently store and share related documents, including pictures that are taken from the field with the mobile app. We also have the purchase orders, the bin locations, and inventory rotations through an ERP system. So those are the main components that we have within these types of operations and also how they're used. So in summary, our field service system was released in May of 2016, so it's brand new to the market. The sooner that you can employ this, the sooner you'll have an advantage over your competitors. It's a very low-cost entry of $35 per user per month, and this is only for the people that are actually using field service operations, being the dispatchers and the people in the field as well as warehouse managers. So marketing professionals, for example, or call center representative, they don't actually have to have the field services license. It's only for the people that are interfacing with that particular functionality. The mobile app is device agnostic, so it allows for any type of mobile device being used in the field that will accommodate this application, and it will be uniform across all platforms. So training is at a minimum. It's a managed solution that's dropped right inside of CRM. So it's a complete package that has the same user interface as every other record and every other function within CRM. And then finally, it will soon be integrated with the out-of-the-box CRM mobile app. And this will then allow us to be able to do opportunity tracking and lead management and other types of functionality that you can have within CRM expanded to the field services as well. So while it's supported with the mobile app that is included with field service, the Microsoft team is investing heavily in being able to bring that mobile app into a familiar user interface for all tablets and all mobile devices, and be able to make it so that all functionality within CRM is extendable within a single platform. So let's go ahead and open the lines up for any questions that have come in. So one of the questions we received is whether or not people were able to use opportunities and quotes using the system? And unfortunately, the answer at this time is no. We are waiting patiently for the mobile app to be included with the out-of-the-box features of CRM, which would then allow for signature capture on quotations. But right now, the field service mobile app is only interfacing with the app that was designed for it, and it only works for work orders and scheduling and everything that we've discussed. We'll keep you updated through our blog and through our website about when these new developments happen, so that way you can know when to be able to switch your teams over. Okay. Here's some additional resources that are available through our website and also through Microsoft itself. We're always updating our FMT blog, which is a great resource for all information in regards to CRM and ERP and SharePoint systems, as we're a full-fledged Microsoft house able to accommodate any one of those types of platforms, as well as others, including NetSuite and SAP by design. This is a What's New guide that's available for you in regards to the field service operations itself, as well as a very in-depth, step-by-step setup guide. All of these resources are available for you at any time, and simply by checking back with us on our website, we're going to continue to update all of these different pieces of educational material. Well, thank you all for attending. It's been a pleasure to be able to deliver this exciting platform to you. And please give us a call if you need any help. We're here to be able to create a very efficient team for you and be able to provide outstanding customer service both to you and to your existing customers. Thank you and goodbye.